you. Hello and a very warm welcome to Supporters Club Live. This is an exclusive live show for the largest official supporters clubs that represent Chelsea all around the world. Well, tonight we are, of course, focusing on next weekend's huge Champions League final over in Porto with the help of Mateo Kovacic and hopefully shortly Andreas Christensen too. Thanks to all of you who've been submitting your questions already from all across the world. So they are coming in thick and fast. There's still plenty of time to get your questions in, though, via the comments section of this live stream. And if you don't have a question, don't worry. Just tell us what club you're representing and where you are watching us. Anyway, that's enough from me, I think. Cover's much more interesting. I talk too much, I'm afraid. It's lovely to see you, my friend. How are you?
Lovely to see you as well. Good. Every day better. Back on the pitch, so it's good now.
Great news. It was good to see you come on, maybe a bit earlier than we thought on Tuesday night with Kante coming off. But you seem to enjoy being back out there, especially in front of the fans at the bridge.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. I felt like the stadium was full. It was one of the best atmospheres really since I'm at Chelsea. It was amazing. So yeah, it was amazing to have them back, and I hope everything will get soon back to normal, so we can have them week in, week out.
Yes, certainly look forward to that. And of course, we're talking about the Champions League final, but it feels like there are two big finals left this season with Villa and then obviously City next weekend.
Yeah, we should not rush to think on the Champions League final, because we had a big game against Leicester and now another big against Villa. A very good team, and we saw already at Stamford Bridge how tough they can be. So we will prepare, of course, for Villa to win this game, to do our best, and then the big final.
Absolutely. We cannot wait. Yeah. As you can imagine, Cover, the questions have been flooding in. We've got questions that are coming on the YouTube stream already. We've got one from Duno Emmanuel on YouTube, who asks what the mood is like in the camp ahead of these big two games.
Very good. The mood is good. Unfortunately, we lost the FA Cup final, but we got a really quick revenge on Tuesday. We won the game against Leicester, which was really, really important. So it's now better. We are feeling good and prepared already for the next two games.
Absolutely. Another question that's just come in on YouTube from Mahoud Fadir, who says, how does Thomas Tuchel instill so much confidence in each players?
It's difficult to explain, but since you saw it as well, since he came in, he changed quite a few things, and he gave us big confidence. And from the beginning when he came, we started playing good and winning games. So yeah, the confidence obviously grows with the good results, and that's what we are doing.
Absolutely. Your pedigree in European competition is right up there, isn't it? Especially in the Champions League. There's a question that's coming from Yash Dodia, who's from the Bayside Blues in Mumbai. And they ask, Kova, as a former winner, what advice do you give some of the young boys at Chelsea who are playing in such a big final for the very first time?
Yeah, but these young boys, they already played finals, two FA Cup finals, one Super Cup final, which we unfortunately lost, all three finals. So I think they know the importance that every detail matters. Everything is important. The preparation 1 week, 2 weeks before to prepare well. And that's what we are doing and what we will do. So it's a big game coming up, but we need to keep our head cool and try to play our game like we did the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Got some good news, Cover, because we've got a wingman coming in for you. We've managed to get hold of Andreas. So we're going to just go on to a quick holding slate. So you hold fire there. We're going to get Andreas in. And I tell you what, we've got lots of questions for the two of you. So we'll see you in a second, my friend.
See you, my friend.
Hello and welcome back to Supporters Club Live. I promised you a second special guest, and here he is, Andreas Christensen. Lovely to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Nice to see you. Good, very good, thank you.
Good, man. And good news from the boss earlier in his press conference. He says you're fully fit, you're training and in the squad for the weekend, so that's great.
Yeah, I tried to get back for Leicester. It wasn't possible, but yeah, finally fit again.
Fantastic news. I was just asking Kova actually before you joined us, that atmosphere on Tuesday night at the Bridge, 10,000 fans, but it really did feel like a full house, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we did well to fire them up as well. Got a good start to the game and a little drama in the end. Helped a little bit as well, so it was all good.
Wouldn't be the same without drama, would it?
Nah, it's making football.
Exactly. That's why we love it. I was talking to Kova about the fact that we are now speaking exclusively to some of our fantastic supporters clubs from all over the world. They have been submitting questions throughout the course of the week and today. We're going to go on to Terry from the Lanzarote Official Supporters Club. And Terry says, this is a formidable and very young Chelsea squad that we have. Where do you think our largest strength lies on the pitch? So, Andreas, I'm going to come to you for that
one. I think it's just a good balance of young players that are hungry to win something, and then got the experienced players that tried a lot. Even Mateo, he's not old, but he's tried a lot in his career. So yeah, I think it's just a great balance, and if I think we can keep the team together for hopefully for some years to come, we are definitely going to be in some more finals.
Certainly will. Look forward to that. Yeah, don't upset Mateo just yet. Question that's coming from Brian from the Bogota Official Supporters Club. And also we've had a similar question from the Atlanta Blues, actually, which is really interesting, who asked both of you, and Kova will come to you first on this. Do you have any pre-game rituals or superstitions, especially before a final?
Not really, because I look at all games like a final, but obviously the final is much more important, but no, nothing. Just I like to pray before the games, and that's it. Talk to my family, and nothing more.
How about you, Andreas? Any sort of superstitions or things that you like to do before a game?
No, I don't like to have any. And if something becomes kind of a habit, I try to get out of it as quickly as possible. So I don't have that feeling of if I don't do it, I can't play well or whatever. So yeah, I'm trying to get out of any habits before the games.
No lucky socks or anything like that?
Nothing. Nothing on purpose anyway.
Exactly, that's all right. Next question comes to you, Andreas, from Jamal Torban. He's from the Libya Official Supporters Clubs. And so he says, hello, Andreas. How do you feel about your combination when playing alongside Thiago Silva, who is, of course, so experienced?
No, I think not just me. I think it helps the whole team. Again, he's a player that's been through a lot. He's tried a lot, and he's got that experience, very calm on the pitch, and I think that affects not just me but the whole team. And obviously to be close to the guy that's calm is always great. So yeah, I think it's not just me. I think it helps the whole team.
It's a very good point, Kova, because we talk about the fact it is a young team, but as you alluded to earlier, there is a lot of experience now, especially in European competition.
Yeah, because this team. But like I said before to you, this team already is 1 year here, and this is the fourth final for these young players. And obviously the experienced one, they played much more. Andreas is, 24, and there are many more. 23, sorry, Andreas. Many
just more. 25. You're going the wrong way.
25, look at. So many more younger players. Yeah, Andreas is still young, but there are many more younger. So it's really a young team, but also the youngsters are quite experienced already, like Andreas, for example, is.
God, you guys make me feel so old. But let's move on from that, shall we?
As quick as possible.
Yeah. Next question comes from Leonard Weston, who's from the Vancouver Official Supporters Club. I'll come to you for this, Cover. What do you feel is the key to breaking down Manchester City's defence in the final?
I think we showed that already this season in some part of our game. Take the ball away from them, which we are doing quite well in the moment, keeping the ball. Try to have the ball as much as possible, and then to hurt them because they suffer when they don't have the ball. So two big teams, they like to keep possession, and we should do it more than them, I hope, in the final.
Hopefully so. We were talking earlier, Andreas, about obviously the FA Cup final, and this next question from Ian, actually from the South Africa Official Supporters Club. So it's about the FA Cup final, obviously disappointing for all of us. But as a team, what do you take away from disappointments like that when it comes to sort of moving on to even bigger and better things further along the line?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think for us, because we are still battling for the top 4, so it's very important just to, like we did, show a good reaction, the next game. And, we got to have revenge over Leicester as well. So I think the reaction is always important. We know we can't change the result anyway, so I think it's just taking all the positives out of the game. And then, just have a good reaction, really.
Absolutely, and we certainly saw that on Tuesday, didn't we? Kova, I know we haven't got you long for much longer, my friends. I'm going to come to you with a question from Benedict, who's from the Nigeria Supporters Club. And Benedict asked, who are the biggest leaders in Spain, and who are the funniest as well?
The biggest and funniest.
You can have the He's asking who are the biggest leaders and who are the funniest as well.
The biggest, obviously there are some experienced players, but we are all leaders in a kind of way, and obviously the coach is the first leader, then Aspi is the captain, but more or less the guys from the back, Thiago, Tony, Andreas, and so because always the back guys are more or less the leaders and trying to push the team. And the funniest part, we have quite a few funny guys. I like to be a lot around Zuma. Zuma is amazing. So, but the whole team is really like I said, and obviously when the results are good, all the team is in a good mood, and everybody is a leader and a funny guy. So for now, we need to keep that going.
Absolutely, Mateo. I know you're a man in demand. You've got to take the family off to the airport very shortly, so we're going to bid you a fond farewell. Andreas, stay where you are for a second. But Mateo, obviously, drive safe. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck this weekend, and look forward to seeing you in Porto next week.
Thank you for having me, and a huge hug for all the supporters, and I hope to see you soon.
Good man.
See you, my friend.
See you soon. Thank you.
Bye. See you, Andreas.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to Supporters Club Live. Unfortunately, we had to bid a fond farewell to Mateo Kovacic, who's whisking his family off to the airport. But Andreas Christensen will be with us for the next few minutes, fielding your questions. So, Andreas, thank you so much indeed for your time. The next question actually comes in from Tudor, from the Bucharest Official Supporters Club. And Tudor says, hello from Bucharest. How hard was this year for the players without the fans, with all the restrictions and obviously with a limited social life outside of football as well?
I think mentally it's been the hardest. The body, get used to it very quickly. But yeah, just starting from not really having a holiday because the whole last season got pushed, and I think we had 10 days off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot, and then just started straight in pre-season, and then obviously we hoped that the fans would be back, but they wouldn't, and it's been not a good experience, but it's been very weird, sort of. Even the dressing rooms are in the press rooms now, and it's all very complicated. And like you say, we have no really social life because you don't want to risk having a positive test in front of a game day and set the whole team in like a bad position. So it is really hard. But again, I think it sounds so cliche, but the fans not being there to push you in the games is very important for us to have the guys there. And like you saw in Leicester, it's gonna it puts a little bit more fire on our feet. So it's good to have them back now.
Absolutely, and it's a really interesting point you made, because we were at the women's game yesterday speaking to some of the girls there, and Guru Reiten, who's from Norway, was saying, "I've not seen my family in a year." But in a strange way, it sort of almost galvanised and brought the team closer together, because all of a sudden your teammates are your family, I guess.
Yeah, it's the only people we can really see, our own family, and obviously the team for training. But again, we can't really go out together to go for lunch or whatever. So it is hard. As the days seems like the same every day, just to training, back home, eat, sleep, training, and then all over again. So at the moment it is tough, but yeah, again, we'll get through it, and hopefully next season, be back to almost normal.
We certainly hope so. Cannot wait to get the fans back to the bridge permanently as well. Obviously, everyone at the moment, as you can understand, Andreas, looking firmly towards that Champions League final. Sarah Malone has submitted a question. Sarah's from the Dublin Official Supporters Club, and says, Andreas, if you win the Champions League final, how do you think you'll celebrate?
Well, I've got to meet up with the national team the next day. I just found out.
The next day?
The next day. So it won't be a long night. I have to go to Austria. Probably not going to train or whatever the next days, but it's going to be tough anyway. So no, I think our families are obviously going to the game, and I think because of all the pandemic, obviously we can't do anything special. But I think with the fans, the families are gonna meet up with us somehow, because they've all obviously been tested before they go to Porto. So I think it's just going to be a bit quiet. I'm sure there's going to be some dancing and some loud music, but it's going to be with the families, I think.
Absolutely. You raise a really important point there, because I think that's something that we often take for granted, that for those of you that are playing international football, there's so little break. How does the mind and the body, how do you recover when you're literally going from game to game to game?
I think it is hard, but obviously going to some other players, a new team, and sometimes it is refreshing anyway, even though it is football. But just getting in another habit, and over training times and different food or whatever. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it is refreshing to get away, but the players are not going. They still have 4 or 5 days off, which obviously sounds nice sometimes.
A luxury.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But no, it's quite refreshing, and hopefully we get a little bit more of a break this year after the Euros than we did last time. But yeah, it is. Again, the Euros are something we look forward to, so I can't complain.
Absolutely. Another question just come in on the YouTube stream from Nyan from the Thane Blues in India. So thank you for this. And it's about your rise through the academy, Andreas. It says you've had a remarkable rise through the Chelsea academy to the main team, and now potentially, we're not going to jinx it, winning the Champions League. It's quite a legacy that you have. How do you personally keep yourself motivated?
That's not hard. We are within the team. We are trying to push each other. Mm-hmm. Like me and Mateo said earlier, we know we have a very young team, and hopefully we can keep it together for a long time. But yeah, we have some very talented players that are gonna push you every day. And for me personally, that is why I joined the club. I came the year they won the Champions League. Give you some hope for the future and something to work towards. So for me, it's always been that, and obviously in my mind when I arrived there, it was very, for me, motivating that people said it wasn't possible to go through the academy to the first team because no one done it since JT done it. So that was my first motivation, kind of small goal, but yeah. And look at us now, we are, what are we, nine or something, academy players. So it's just a great feeling, and hopefully we can win more trophies together.
It's really interesting. But I remember speaking to Mason Mount not too long ago, and he had exactly the same mindset. He said, coming through the academy, there are so many sort of dissenting voices saying, "Oh no, it's difficult to break through. It's difficult to do that." And he's like, "No, I'm going to be the one to do that." So to have that sort of that tunnel vision and that mindset must be so important.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I mentioned Ruben earlier as well, because I've done it we've done it side by side, and it's just a great feeling. Even Nathan Ake was there for a while as well. So we were quite a few that got through in the end. It is a tough journey. It is, because it's a massive club and there's expectations for everyone. Even you, Lee, you have to be the best at what you do as well. So
won't go that far.
And I will. But but yeah, it is motivation and for all of us. And now I think we're proud of the way the club has gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Time for a couple more. I think we've got one from Zainal Karim, who's from the Surabaya Blues official supporters club over in Indonesia. And Zainal says, we won the last Premier League match against Manchester City. How much does that come into play when you're looking ahead to the Champions League final? Is there a mental edge?
It should be, but again, it's a final. It's a one game. I think in the finals, everything can happen. Yeah, you see that against Leicester. It is a team that we know we can beat them. We are probably in a better headspace than they were at the time. But it's a final, and anything can happen. They score a stunner, and then the next game, I think we show what we can do. We win like we should have done. There's a lot of fire at our feet. There's a bit of revenge going on and that stuff. So I think in the final anything can happen, but for us it is important for us to show that we can do it.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This question comes in from the Belgium official supporters club, from Rahul Darnani. We talked about winning mentality. This is an interesting one. Which trophy would mean the most to you, Andreas? Champions League, World Cup, or more league titles?
That's a very hard question. I think it's two different things. It's not, but it sort of is.
Go on.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just it is another feeling. For your country is very, very emotional. You represent your country is something you have to be really, really proud of. But at the same time, when you're at Chelsea, you spend so much time together that it almost feels the same. And it is like your family. So again, it is hard to explain why, but it is sort of different. But I don't think you can compare. Champions League has always been the dream for why you play football. And then representing your country is it's a bonus, but it's something you might even be probably more proud of presenting the national team than get fun club football. I don't know how to explain this, but it is different. I don't know. Yeah.
Not something I'll ever need to worry about, Andreas.
No, exactly. Let's just say that the Champions League for now, right now, is very important to me.
Very well
Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
The most important thing right now.
I think, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't
that way.
Time for one more, Andreas, before we let you go. It's just coming on the YouTube stream from Shah Nuaz, Sunny from the Bangla Blues. And this is actually ties in what I think probably you were saying about Ruben a little while ago. Which teammate has helped you the most throughout your Chelsea career?
Yeah, you can say Ruben. We've done it side by side, like I said. But even you can throw Nathan Ake in there as well. We had like a little youth group that were going quite early to train with the first team. Didn't play any games, obviously. We were still very young. But we were sort of together every day because we did like the same training with the first team, back over to the academy, and then training with the first team and all this stuff. Then I think Nathan got through a little bit before me and Ruben. Got a little bit more games under Rafa Benitez, I think it was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he got up and got some games before me and Ruben. But yeah, we've done it kind of side by side. He went alone, I went alone, got back together, and sort of mixed well. So I would probably say Ruben.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. And is it so important that you guys have come through and you all have that winning mentality and that drive to succeed?
Trust me, when you have 80 whatever's and Madromi as coaches, there's nothing you can. It just gets pumped in your head. So there's nothing you can do about it.
And on that bombshell, I think it's the perfect time to leave it. Andreas, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, mate. And good luck this weekend. Of course, good luck. Always a pleasure. And good luck for next weekend as well. And for all of you watching, thank you so much indeed for joining us here this afternoon, this evening. Thank you to those that have submitted questions and comments as well. It's been a real pleasure. Good luck to everybody. Enjoy the final, and we look forward to joining you very soon for another official Supporters Club live show. Bye for now.